Hi, and welcome to the Seat We Fill podcast. It's the podcast about people, places, and the moments that shape us. I'm Adam Hardacre. I'm currently identifying as a writer, Evertonian, Scouser, and someone who believes stories matter, whether told from football seats, care settings, or just kitchen tables. We don't do hot takes, we're not shouting aloud, it's about honesty, community, conversations that actually mean something. So, wherever you're listening from, stick the kettle on, get comfy, and we'll get into it. Today's guest is someone who is just funny, thoughtful, and unapologetically herself. Known for backing famous artists, bringing the choir's voice to us through shows like Pitch Battle and X Factor, and as well as having writing credits for Robbie Williams' Christmas album. It's the amazingly talented, funny, utterly brilliant Stephanie Carr. Um,
Okay.
One of the things I love about you, Stephanie, is that you're just positivity. It's surface level. It comes from lived experience, reflection, and knowing yourself. And you just represent this city with humour, openness, and real heart. How do you see yourself in this city?
Well, I'm glad you think that. Um, I just see myself as being really authentic and open-minded and
Hmm.
confident, really. I think you touched on that before. I think confidence comes from within, but you don't always have it, and it definitely comes from lived experiences.
Yeah. And I touched on some of the experiences that I saw on your profiles and that you've been through, and you seem to have done a lot of stuff, but you keep coming back to Liverpool. So what is it about that drags you back here?
You know what? I was a professional dancer for many years and I've travelled the world. And back then, most jobs or auditions were in London. And loads of my friends moved to London. But I never felt the need to move. I just loved Liverpool so much. Don't get me wrong, I love travelling, but
Hmm.
I'd be away for, say, a week working. And I just loved being on that train, coming back to Liverpool. It's just that kind of home feeling
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I can't quite explain, but it's in your heart. So I'm always proud of that I never felt the need to move away, and that's not to say I don't love other countries or I don't love
Hmm.
travelling, but there was just something that kept me here in Liverpool.
No, I can totally relate to that. I think when I was younger, I lived in America doing Camp America for 6 months when I was 18. And it was like 99. It was
Oh,
before we had the internet. And I used to get my mum to post me the Pink Echo every week so I'd get the football results and look at what was still going on.
no way.
And it's come like a week later, so I
Oh, I
wasn't
love
know the
that.
football results till a week later. But yeah, just getting the Pink Echo walking around. It
The
was,
pink echo, you're going back now.
I know that no one knows the Pink Echo anymore when you speak about it, but
Yeah.
I used to wait on a Saturday afternoon just for that to come out. But she used to post it to me every Monday morning. It's come like a week later. And I'd be sitting there looking through and all that, trying to figure out what happened the week before. But it's just something about this city. It holds you in, doesn't it? It keeps you inside it, and
It does, it's like a magnet, and I think you can only understand that if you're from here. Although a lot of people do say they love Liverpool,
Mhm.
I think it comes from just living and being here, I think.
Yeah. So, what one word would you use to sum up Liverpool if you had one?
Um, you know, it's a hard one, that, because my views of the city are kind of changing in the
Hmm.
last couple of years. And I don't know if that's a bit of a negative thing. Um, but put that aside, and I would say kind.
Yeah.
Um, I know you said one word, but kind, friendly, loving.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, we've just won the most given city
Yeah.
two
I think
years
it's
on the
again
row.
2 years, isn't
Yeah, from GoFundMe.
it?
So I think that says a lot, doesn't it? I'll go with kind, final answer.
Hmm. So, when did that word first start feeling true for you? How did you know that this was a kind and friendly city?
I think kind of from within, like what you do in your life and where you go. I remember I went to London, I was working, and me and
Hmm.
my friend had massive, massive suitcases. And we were in Euston and we were about to go up. We were in the tube station, about to go up the
Yeah, yeah.
stairs, and literally couldn't carry these ridiculous suitcases that we had. And everyone just ran past, walked past, walked past, and
Hmm.
eventually, about 5 minutes in of us trying to look these suitcases, someone stopped and said, "Yeah, girls, let me help you with that." And he was a Scouser, and that got me thinking, hang on a
Hmm.
minute, not everyone's like us, not everyone offers
Yeah,
help.
yeah.
And then a friend of mine who's from London, the first time he come to Liverpool for a job, he was just blown away. He couldn't believe how kind, how nice,
Mhm.
how friendly people were. He said he was asking for directions and someone offered to walk him to where he needed to be. So I think that's when I started to really realise, okay, we're not like everywhere else, we're unique in that sense.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think everyone who goes to London, you always have that experience and the difference in it. It's there's so much going on down there, and people just don't stop for a second. I used to work with
Yeah.
a guy
It's like the
years
big
ago. Sorry, go on.
no, go on.
No, I used to work with a guy years ago, and he used to say like everyone rushes, and it was an adult for autism. He used to say no one stops and just looks up. And when you walk around the city of Liverpool, if you look up and you look at the architecture and just stop and take it in, and you go to London, they've got amazing architecture, and everyone's rushing to be somewhere rather than looking at what's around them and taking that in.
Yeah, I think there's a real disconnect, isn't there?
Yeah.
People are almost scared. If I used to stop someone to ask for directions, they'd get a shock when it said,
Mhm.
excuse me. And they'd just like look at me and run away. But yeah, there's
It's
a real difference between the two cities, I think. And there's
so
a number of reasons for that, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
London has a lot of different people in different places just trying to survive and running about. But yeah, I'd give me Liverpool any day.
So you said that your thoughts have changed a little bit over the couple of years. What kinds of things have influenced that?
I think politics mainly is
Hmm.
is the big one. And I think with the rise of social media, we're all into politics a little bit
Hmm.
more. Even
Yeah.
if we don't think it's politics, I think it is. I think we're seeing a rise in reform. And just my opinion is I'm not that way inclined. I think you'd
Hmm.
know that if you watch me TikToks, but and what reform represents to me is a real disconnect of
Hmm.
saying before how connected we all are and we've always
Yeah.
been. There's now a real connect in the city, and I think it's down to certain politicians and social
Hmm.
media, that kindness and that love that we've always had, that open-mindedness, having open arms. I think that's changed. I think especially in working class areas, which is a
Hmm.
shame because where we've come from, people are starting to say, it's kind of like a woe is me attitude. So if I haven't got, well, then why should you and why should you? And we've never been about that. So I'm
Hmm.
taking a bit of a step back and it's hateful for me to see.
And one of the reasons that I started this podcast, so I've got a couple of books that touch on community and that, and it is a bit of a fuck you to reform. And this podcast is because the reason that I'm speaking to a lot of different people from different areas of Liverpool and people who, it's to show that Liverpool is diverse and cultural, and it's not about what reform are trying to sell to us. Um, I think I saw a comment on one of your videos the other day, and I can't remember what they called you, but it was something like a rich socialist or something. And you sit there and
Oh,
think,
champagne social.
that's a champagne socialist. And it made me laugh because it's like, you're the kind of person who then listens to Farage and the crap that he wants to come out, who's literally stood there drinking champagne and smoking cigars as he's saying, we're all in this together and all this crap. It's like unbelievable the way that people are seeing I talked about it with a friend the other week, and where Scouse comes from, and it's all this, we're Scouse, we don't want this, we want that, we want reform. If you're true Scouse, it means multicultural, it means downtrodden, it means standing up against racism, abuse, and everything else. You know, Liverpool's got its history of slavery, and we don't hide from it, but we move forward and we try to make ourselves better. And this is the purpose of this podcast, really, and I hope people listen to it for that reason. And if you don't, hopefully it'll make you open your minds a bit more as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's interesting is I think a lot of people have or don't have the ability
Mhm.
to learn or to listen. And I think a lot of people, I think immigration is, it's a massive talking point at the moment. And I think people are just getting carried away with that. So the minute someone comes along like Farage and says, we will stop
Mhm.
immigration, we will stop the boats, that's what everyone attaches themselves to,
Yeah, yeah.
ignoring everything else, ignoring what they done, how much he lied about Brexit and the millions of pounds that was going to be invested into the NHS, which was a lie.
Mhm.
Since Brexit, immigration, the small boats actually started after Brexit, and because proper ways for immigrants or asylum seekers to seek asylum were cut after
Yeah.
Brexit. So Nigel Farage is responsible for a lot of that, but people don't see that, they don't listen. And what I try and do within politics is have an open mind and listen and learn and research. And I'm all for people
Yeah.
putting me straight and saying, well, here's some facts, and I
Mhm.
listen. But people don't do that. And they've got tunnel vision now over immigration, which is why they all want to vote reform. Stop the boats out the equation. If Nigel Farage come on the telly tomorrow and said, actually, let's have the boats, people had
Mhm.
changed their minds.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's heartbreaking to see so many people from my city. He's a multi-millionaire, all his friends, like, he's just
Mhm.
been, someone donated the biggest sum in history in politics, a British person who lives abroad for tax reasons. Um, he can't relate to working class people.
No.
He hasn't come from a working class background. He doesn't know what that feels like. Look what he done to Clacton. He's nowhere to be seen. But
Mhm.
anyway, I will go on if you don't stop me about
No,
Farage
no,
and that
I
lot.
can't stand
But yeah, I just
the man.
city. I want our brilliant city to wake up and
Yeah.
realise he's not the way.
And that's the same. We're talking about the man who literally crawled out of Thatcher's arse. So it's that's all he is. So
Exactly.
what are your
Exactly.
early roots?
And
Where
all
was
this, what happened to we're supposed to not English.
Mhm. Yeah. It uh
We're
yeah.
Scouse, we're not English, and all the fake patriotism. It's just
Mm.
interesting, really. It's interesting to see people climbing up
Yeah.
lampposts and popping up flags when
I
we've
mean,
never
put a
really
flag wherever you
celebrated the
want. It
Union
doesn't
Jack
mean
in
anything.
way in this city.
Yeah. Put the St. George's
Yeah,
flag up and let's celebrate that
yeah,
Turkish man. It's it's
exactly,
just
exactly that.
some people just really need to educate on what they need to do, and yeah, hopefully people listening to this show, you know, it will be a lot of people who are probably on the same side of the
Yeah, I
fence as
think people
us.
just need to open your heart and just accept everyone. And I hate that comparison. I've just been on TikTok before. A woman was talking about refugees, and someone said, how many have you got in your house? And it's like, we can care about one subject, we can care about another subject
Mhm.
simultaneously. It doesn't always have to be, well, if you
Yeah.
care about, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but hopefully we'll do full circle. A friend of mine on, he's an actor actually. He'd be great to get on your podcast, Scott Williams.
Mhm.
He's an actor, done some like great films in Liverpool, and he come on Instagram for a little bit, and then he was
Mhm.
like, "F this, I'm off." But he said to me, Steph, it'll goes round in circles, the right,
Yeah.
and then the left come in, and then the right, and then so it'll just make its way round. So I'm hoping he's right. I'm hoping that's what
Hopefully.
happens.
Yeah, it is all going round. Well, just to say, if anyone, me and Steph aren't talking over each other, we have got a bit of a delay on the video, so it's not because we're talking over each other. There's a bit of a delay in the and internet connection issues. But I will be sorting that out hopefully this week. So what were your early roots, Steph? Where did you first sit that you felt connected to the city?
So I think it's a really hard question that.
Mhm,
Um, Honestly, I think when I went to senior school
mhm,
and met a certain group of friends that were from Liverpool 8. I was from Liverpool 1, L1. Um, and it was when I met this particular group of girls who looked like me
mhm.
that I felt, and there was a teacher that also looked like me, and I felt, oh, hang on, I fit in here. I sit well with these people. Um, have I digressed from the question? What was the question again?
No, keep going. It's fine.
I love
Where
to
did,
digress.
it's fine. I love it. It's where you felt where you first felt connected to the city. What your early roots? What was they look like?
Yeah, I think that way I felt a real connection and kind of exploring Liverpool East
Mhm,
more because there was people, and I know L1, Liverpool 8, look, they get mixed up. They're that
yeah.
close to each other. But yeah, most people there looked like I did. So that's when I started to feel a real connection to Liverpool. And I'm
Mhm,
sure people who will watch won't understand that. I'm
mhm.
sure there'll be people who
Yeah,
do
yeah.
understand that. But yeah, Liverpool 8 for me and meeting those girls, and that's when I felt a real connection to the city. I felt like I belonged to that
I
part of
think
the city.
I think it's important, because I didn't obviously I wouldn't have had the same experiences, but some people would. And it's about hearing that again, it's about hearing them different experiences and different cultures and, growing up in different areas and parts. Every part of Liverpool, the different L postcodes are all so differently unique. I'm in L20 and it's so different to L8, completely. It's like you're only a 10-minute drive away. Um, but hearing the different kinds of backgrounds that people have and the different kinds of connections that you make when you meet that certain group of people and how that expands. You just feel more richer and fuller from it, don't you? And it does give you that kind of different perspective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I really started to accept myself, who I was. Growing up
Mm,
in Liverpool 1, I love Liverpool 1, Chinatown, that's
mhm,
my area. And it was a great area. There weren't many black families. There was a few real kind of staple black families in L1 who've got to give a shout out to.
mm,
But majority were white. It wasn't a racist area at all,
mm,
L1, but what I found was there were lots of growing up. I didn't realise this until I got older, kind of like microaggressions, if you like. So I was always
mhm.
skittered for the way I looked.
Yeah, yeah.
I had an afro, my mum cut my hair short, all my sisters. So I'd get skittered for that. I'd get called microphone head or afro, or my sister was called Macy Gray. So it's
Mhm,
not kind of your overt racism, but it's microaggressions that makes you kind of really insecure. So growing up being mixed race, being black in that area, I was insecure about
yeah.
who I was, and I wanted to have blonde hair like my best friend and light skin. So, relating that to when I met my friends who looked like me in school, that's when I really started to have a confidence. Actually, this is who I am, and I'm really great with who I am. So that was
Mhm,
the start of, we spoke before about having confidence, and it started to think then.
yeah.
But took me, many, many years after to be who I am today. But
It's
yeah, as you
it's
say, those different postcodes, so different in many aspects,
mhm,
different cultures, just the way we are, who we are.
yeah. It is interesting, isn't it, how like them little microaggressions that we had years ago and now they're starting to be less tolerable and less spoken about and less used, but there's still stuff out there. So I'm getting a lot of hate online at the moment for videos I put about poverty chanting. Um, and I stand by it. I'm loving the hate. I think it's hilarious because these people are saying that, I'm just being oversensitive and I'm crying about nothing. And it's a microaggression that they're doing. It's, you said there you had the big afro hair, you've got gorgeous hair, it's proper, that kinds of the curls and everything, and that people actually pay for, but you want it to be blonde. And for me, when I hear, I work with a lot with adults with learning disabilities.
Yeah,
I actually have staff who work 40 hours a week who are homeless and they're in a full time employment and they have been, over the years. And it's a microaggression that I think we're making these chants. And, I've been guilty of doing in the past, but you learn from and you move forwards. But how do them people sit there and hear them words, and how does that make them feel comfortable about the situation that they're in, that they don't afford to be in or want
yeah,
to be in? It's all these little things, and it's the point that I'm trying to put across in a lot of the videos that are put out there and comments I make, and a lot of people get it, but there's still them people who are just like, "Oh, you can't say anything nowadays." You can say anything. You're just going to be seen as a dick for it. Um, Stop being a dick to other
yeah,
people. But it's amazing just some of the attitudes that
yeah,
people still
exactly.
hold
I think
in this year.
poverty chanting in 2025.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially where you walk out to the grounds and it's got a
I
food
think
bank
it's
right
become
there.
more prevalent. I think me being on, I start exactly. I started a TikTok this year for reasons to do with the career that I'm going into.
Mhm.
And I've never experienced racism online like that, or like you said, classism or, poverty chanting that. And
Yeah.
it's really opens my eyes. TikTok's an easy platform for these people,
Mhm.
to spew the hate, but it's shocking. So I don't think it's on the decline. I feel like that type of thing is
Yeah.
on the incline, and you can't say nothing nowadays. I've always hated that saying.
Mhm.
It's like we evolve, we move on. I've probably used phrases in the past that now aren't acceptable, and I accept that
Yeah.
because things change and you've just got to go with it. Yeah, it's sad, really.
I had a really interesting one the other day. He came back to me saying, "Why don't I piss off and go and watch women's football if I don't enjoy the chants and banter?" And I actually goes to women's.
Wow,
I take my son to women's football matches. We've been to all the Everton ones this year. So I've done a video back and I had
oh,
me
brilliant.
as a program with the Everton women's, and I was like, I'm really looking forward to going back to the match. And I found this guy on LinkedIn, so I tagged his boss and said, "What do you think of this person talking about poverty as he is in women's football?" He deleted the comment straight away. And I just thought, if you're going to have that kind of attitude, stand by it when to say
Oh,
it's
really? See, that's telling, isn't it?
yeah.
Very telling.
If you've got that attitude, stand by it and stick to your comments. But obviously not. Tell me about the
Yeah.
city that raised you, Steph. What was your childhood like? What was the smells or sounds that take you back to that time?
So I think for me, I grew up in L1, as I said before, a place called Kent Gardens, the
Mhm.
old flats, kind
Yeah, yeah.
of like in a square, kind of like the Bull Ring, those types of places. And that was where you got a real sense of community. Everyone knew everyone. And I kind of, when I think back to Kent Gardens, the sounds.
Mhm.
that I hear are kids playing out. That's alls we did. We'd play out in the block. We play rounds, 2 balls. Remember 2 balls on the wall?
Yeah.
You throw them up. And just all red rum or red rover, I forgot the name. Um, and you just was out for hours. And when your mum wanted you to come in, she'd get on the landing and shout your name as loud as she can, and you'd hear that from 10 miles away.
So you said about children and playing games. I think again that's something that's really lost today, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of that. Like my children, I've got 4 boys, different ages, and they don't really go out at all unless we know where they're going.
Yeah. I think that's society, isn't it,
Yeah,
today? Um, I mean, there are a number of reasons why kids don't play out anymore. Um, but yeah, that's something that we've lost.
yeah,
I think what I try and do, everything's about kind of, oh, we don't have that anymore. We used to do this, and moving
mhm,
forward, this is bad, this is bad. But I think, as I said before, we do evolve and things change and people change. And we've just kind of got to roll with it rather than getting het up about it, if you like.
yeah. It is changing times and different reasons that you have to be more secure. And me 2 eldest children, they've got phones which we have like locks on, and it has links where it actually tells you exactly what street they're in.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, which it's a shame that you have to use that kinds of stuff because I think my son, he was 12 and he wanted to go to town for the first time on his own. And it was a big conversation between me and my wife because I'm a bit older than my wife. I'm 44, she's 38. And I was like, yeah, sounds, I was going to town when I was 10. So it's fine. And it was like, well, you can't do that anymore. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay. Well,
Yeah,
it's a very different experience now, isn't it?
it is. Things have changed. And it's just about accepting that, I think.
So what kinds of memories take you back to the 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 L1 area that you grew up in?
Songs. I'm massive on nostalgia.
Hmm.
Like, I really feel, and you mentioned smells before and sounds, and songs transport me back to an
Yeah.
era, not even an era, to a specific day, time, what I was wearing, what was happening. Songs. We were really lucky. We had 3 youth clubs in
Mm.
L1. We had the Swings, the Brothers, and the Blackie. Don't think I've missed any out, but they were massive in terms of shaping me as a
Mhm.
person and what we did there. That's where I found um, a love of dance and singing and the arts,
Yeah, yeah.
basically. And all we did was put on songs and make dances up. Um, so the minute I hear a song, it just transports me back to that particular time and place, and it just gives you the best feeling. The best feeling. I remember I listened to Heart 80s a lot in the
Yeah.
car, and there was a time when I didn't love 80s music, and I didn't know why. It just wasn't my thing. I'm into, like, a lot of 90s R&B or Motown and
Hmm.
soul, and then I got to the point where specific 80s songs just, like, meant so much to me, and it was because I'd got to a certain age.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s was a certain time that I love to look back on and get that nostalgic feeling. There's nothing better than a good song to take you back to a time and place.
Yeah, and coming from Liverpool as well, every bit of music you can get in Liverpool. It's like when they had the Africa Festival and you know all that different type of music going on, and then
Yeah.
we also used to have Matthew Street. There was Creamfields. Anything that was going on, we were always at the forefront of it, and still
Of course,
pretty
we're a
much, you know.
huge musical city. There's so much talent in the city, um, and authenticity within that music, and I think that comes from, you know, some of the working class behaviours and what we did back in the day that
Yeah,
shaped this city. the best city in the world, I think, for talent and for music, definitely.
Well, it's places I know the Blackie quite well.
Oh, really?
A place I used to work years ago, we used to support adults there to do drama classes and put on plays, and they used to do a lot of work there with a lot of the people that we worked with. And that was really positive thing for them to go and, like, experience that and really have fun. But the
Yeah.
Blackie was such a great place, and
It was amazing. We used to they had a bouncy castle and
mhm,
these mattresses that if you fell off the mattress, didn't really do anything because they were that worn. They were rotten, cat wee stains all over them. Your mum would know if you'd been the Blackie because you'd come out smelling a certain way. Your feet, your socks were black with salt and dirt and mud. But there was just no place like it. They used to put on workshops, used to do cookery classes, and Bill Harp, the owner of the
yeah,
Blackie, he was from the art. He was a ballet dancer, really successful dancer back in the day. And he used to fund us to go to dance classes where our mums couldn't afford to send us to dance school, but the Blackie would fund us,
yeah,
buy our tap shoes, our ballet shoes, and sends us to classes and bring dance teachers in. And that is really where, for me, the love of the art
mhm.
started. And it's such an amazing place, and it's still going now.
So all the experiences you had and all the kinds of people you've met along the way, and that comes from the Blackie a lot then, really.
Yeah, absolutely shaped me who I am today. And the Swings and the Brothers, they were other youth clubs. The Swings was run by a guy called Adrian Devis, and he was just like,
Mm,
you don't meet men like him nowadays. He was just like
yeah,
everyone's dad, and he'd done so much for us. But because he was on our level, he didn't seem like that, that he had like so much authority. He wasn't like that. He was on our level, but knew what he was doing and how to kind of handle us. Because L1 was a bit of a rough area, but people like he just knew how to deal with everyone. He was a people person. And then the Brothers was ran by brothers, actual
mhm,
brothers. And that's where I used to take me homework. Brother Brown, I was quite bright back then. And Brother Brown had said he was a school teacher and he'd help me with my homework and give us good life lessons. And
yeah,
yeah, like youth clubs are, and again, funding cuts. There's hardly
mhm,
any youth clubs around, and I think that was down to a Tory government who cut a lot of
mhm.
that. And I think youth clubs were safe places for us all to be.
The A lot of them, because we used to go to it's the Brunswick, but it was called the Brunny in Bootle.
Oh yeah,
And Jamie Carragher we grew up around the area as well, so he was heavily involved in that, and that's still going, and I don't know who's funding that anymore, but, we used to love going to Brunny, and they used to have the second floor, all the lads be playing football in the second floor up there. But yeah, we used to have, like, loads of different community groups that we used to go to as kids, and, my boys now, they're in cadets, which is really good, and that teaches them a
right.
lot, and they do a lot with that, so there's still stuff out there. It's just obviously the funding on it is just non-existent, as it is for most sectors and services, but it's something that valuably needed in this city with a lot of, there's a lot of children who crying out for that kind of, and, you
Course.
look at yourself, you got that love of dancing and performing and went on to do amazing things with that. It's how many other children out there without these services are missing out on their own potential.
That's it. And I think the lack of those types of places, you can see that now through what young kids want to become. And I'm not saying it's bad, but a
Mhm.
lot of young kids now just want to be influencers on social
Yeah.
media, or they just want to be famous, or they just want to be footballers. I'm
Mhm.
not saying there's anything wrong with being a footballer, of course there isn't. But I think because of lack of those places, everything's online. So
Yeah.
we become what we see, and that's what we're seeing. So a lot of young people don't aspire to be anything else
Mhm.
outside those kinds of walls really, and I think that's a shame.
Yeah, there does need to be a bit more focus on, people going out and, I know a lot of influencers at the moment. I'm speaking to a lot of people and they still have regular day jobs and, they're going out doing stuff and do this on the side. And that's really hard slog, but they want to showcase their talents, their comedy, their singing, whatever it is that they're doing.
Course, of
But
course,
yeah, I think, one of the things, when me and my son with the women's football, a lot of the players there, they have the education and the backup because it's not a guaranteed
of
um
course, of course, yeah,
path for them. They are earning whatever, but that could all just go with a second because of opinions about it.
yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting when you see all these things that are just non-existent. So tell me about a time that the city tested you. When was the time that you felt everything was closing in, or anything that you only share what you want to share, obviously?
Um, I'd say now, but
Hmm.
not in a major way. I
Yeah.
don't feel I've ever felt like the city has done me wrong or closed in on me or anything to that extent.
Hmm.
Um, I've always been quite lucky in what who I am, what I do, etc. And always found the city to be really positive. And the reason I say now is because I feel like I'm getting tested in terms of politics and
Hmm.
in terms of the abuse that I'm receiving on social media, in terms of um, being racially abused, etc. Um, yeah, and that is only because I've joined TikTok.
Hmm.
Um, but other than that, I've grew up loving the city, and yeah, I don't think anything's happened majorly to me.
How
Um,
how do you hand like obviously I never probably will experience racism. I'm a privileged white middle-aged male. Um, how do you handle that kind of attitude and then messages that you obviously get?
so to be honest, before the racism, I
Hmm.
received just negative comments. They make me laugh. They have me in
Yeah,
books.
yeah.
Someone called me dolphin choppers.
Dolphin chocolates.
My teeth, which I really did laugh.
Mm,
Someone said, "Me dancing was shite, get a job." That made me laugh. I was like, um, I can handle anything. There's
mhm,
nothing that you can say to me that will make me lose my confidence, that will make me second guess myself. It really does just go. That being said, my first racist comment, and
mhm.
I kind of don't want to admit this because it's like you're giving them the satisfactory of affecting you
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this way. But I also think it's important to be honest and open and
Mhm,
transparent. I was gutted. I cried. I was gutted.
mhm.
I've got an ongoing case now with the police because
Good.
some of the comments were pure out and out racism, like really bad and life threatening and whatsoever. And, I spoke to my family, spoke to my friends, my family. My sisters had to come off TikTok because they were just,
Mhm,
you can imagine, angry. My friends were like gutted, couldn't believe how it has affected me. But I guess that it comes back to I do a lot of meditation and self-aware, and I like to reflect a lot and go within, not to go too deep. Um, I was shocked how much it upset me.
mhm.
Um, but I guess it took me back to being a kid and being insecure about who I was at that time. And, I have suffered racial abuse a lot throughout my life in Liverpool, um, which made me really insecure
Yeah.
about being black. So me getting upset took me back to that. And then I had a word with myself and I was like, no, no, you fools, you horrible, horrible idiots aren't going to affect my life in that way. Like, do one, do one.
I think, and I understand what you're saying, not giving them the power to know that it did get to you.
Yeah.
But there's also a flip side for that. So I work in health and social care and manage supported living services. I have a 70% of my staff force are Nigerian. And over the past 3 years, I work in Manchester at the moment. Over the past 3 years, we've had six, maybe seven, six, seven. That's coming from kids. We've had 6 or 7 children, not children, staff members being racially abused by public while they're supporting vulnerable adults. We have a zero tolerance, me as the manager, and we report everything to the police regardless of anything else in a report. And we spoke to the MPs about it. We had one situation where there was 2 staff members in the same area, and they got the same abuse from one drunken guy in Manchester. And there was 2 different responses. The first staff member was distraught, she was crying. She said she'd
Yeah.
never experienced racial abuse before. And the second staff member was just, what's the point in doing anything? It's pointless. That doesn't bother me. I get it all the time. And I think I was kind of taken back because I was like, well, you shouldn't be able to feel nothing to it because it happens so often, and so
Yeah.
you shouldn't have that expectation of I've just got to expect to have this because of the colour of my skin. And we've done a lot of work. We spoke to there's a lot of community groups where I'm working with Ensure and groups around tackling racism and all that kinds of hatred and intolerance, but it just doesn't change, unfortunately. And it's really, it's just disgusting watching. And, there's so many people, they hide behind
Yeah.
blank pictures on TikTok, and it's given them that kind of option to do what they think they want. And, they will get
Yeah.
found out. And it,
It's
you,
deep rooted, isn't it? I
yeah,
think within them, if someone is going to racially abuse someone, it's deep rooted. But I think
mhm,
the issue we've got nowadays is because of the likes of Tommy and Farage and
mhm,
Trump, people are feeling more confident to be more vocal with
yeah,
the racism. And I think that's the problem. I think going back to what you mentioned about two people who experience it completely different is really interesting. And
mhm,
each person shouldn't have to go through that. But I wish
yeah,
that one person, it didn't upset them so much. And I wish that that person didn't treat it so not saying
largely,
you treat it flippantly, but
yeah,
you shouldn't have to look at it that way. So
mhm,
it's nuanced, isn't it? And I just think it's just never ending, isn't it? It's ongoing. But I've got to say, I experienced it a lot growing up, and I'm light skinned, and then I know that
mhm,
darker people experience it worse. But there come a point in my life where it stopped, but it's resurfacing now because of social media,
yeah.
unfortunately.
And how many of them people actually have a face to a picture or a name to it?
Not one.
Yeah.
Not one of them. It's like,
Shitbags.
come on then, be blatant.
Yeah.
Shitbags
Stop
is
being a
what I call
shitbag
them.
and come and say it.
Absolute
Come and say
shitbags.
it.
And they wouldn't say it to your face, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. Shitbags. I was in town. I'm not sure if you've seen a video. My video I made on TikTok. But as I was getting out the Uber, there was this guy racially abusing the Uber driver, and he called him a black cunt,
Mhm,
and the Uber driver just ignored it. So I got my phone out, and this isn't something I do. I hate when
mhm,
there's situations going on, people film. I'd rather get involved rather than filming, but I just thought, get your phone out for protection. And I challenged him and I said, "What did you say? What?" And he was like, "Nothing against you, love."
mhm.
And that's the mentality, isn't it? Nothing against me. Why? Because I'm a woman or I'm light skinned. It was the darker Uber driver, and I was just like, grow up.
Doesn't
Like,
make
grow
it better.
doesn't make it better. But yeah, I think we always have got to challenge.
We
It's not to be ignored. But I
we
think there is real change happening. Adam, I went to the Anthony Walker Foundation dinner.
yeah,
They were celebrating, I think, 20 years. And it was a real positive experience. And I got a real insight into what they do. And I've watched some videos of um they go into schools and talk to young kids and create programs within schools, and just listening to some of the young
mhm,
kids what they thought about racism and what needed to be done, I think just was brilliant. It just filled my heart with such love and warmth that
Yeah.
actually these types of things are making a difference. And there is hope for the future with these young ones coming up. You know, foundations like that are able to do
Mhm.
that and go into schools because I think it starts at grassroots, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
So
definitely does.
it's positive in that sense.
It's room for everyone to grow and change, and it's not about punishing people for your past and what you may have said, but as long as you can sit there and say, I've learned from that, I'll move forward, I'll change my attitude, my approach. But it's these ones who just think, no, Tommy Robinson's right. And I love when you watch Tommy Robinson and Farage and that, and they just want to call him a racist, and he'll say, you tell me when I've ever been racist. Like, you know what you're doing, you're not being
Yeah.
racist because you know it's going to
Yeah,
go against you,
yeah,
but you're saying things that trigger in other people.
of
You're
course.
not
They're
as
not overtly racist, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's the
We
and
had
actions as well.
we had a situation with one of my staff members took a lady out supported in Manchester, and it was when the Southport riot started around the country, and both of them were white, and they were petrified in a corner in Manchester because they took one turn where it was meant to be safe from the riots, and a load of people stormed that area, and they were targeting everyone. There was white people there who were getting targeted, so it's like you're going against what you're actually saying now. Because so they had to jump in an Uber, and the Uber driver was an Asian man. And then they had the car smashed, and the Uber driver was just not fazed by it because they get it so often. It's like, well,
Used to it.
it's nothing unique,
Yeah,
and that's the
which
sad
is
thing
the
about
thing.
it. But
And those people who started the riots, they don't represent real people or true patriots, as they say. They just want an excuse simply to go out and be thuggish.
yeah, I'd
So
imagine the parents probably sat there at them poor girls saying, "This is not in my child's name," and
they did.
it's
Yeah.
just disgusting. But
Mm.
let's um, let's try and change the tone and move on to something a bit fun. So I have like a bit of a quick fire Scouse quiz. So it's
Okay.
just quick fire answers that I've not shared with you yet. Just whatever your
Oh,
response is. I'll just ask you this or that question or something about a Liverpool landmark, whatever. First answer comes into your head, no thinking. If you want to expand, you can, but
okay.
blue or red?
Red!
Ah, Steph, you were doing so well till then.
Well, actually, yeah, I am a red, and I used to love, 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 love Liverpool. Time of the Spice Boys.
Ah, okay.
Now I'm just like, but my family are massive red still, so red.
Fair enough. My wife's actually a red, to be fair, so I've got to
Oh,
accept
she's
some
good.
people in my life being that
I
colour.
can't. Got
It's the only part of colour that phases my mind.
That's okay.
Chip balm or chip bussy?
Chip bussy.
Oh yeah, none better than chip bussy, dripping butter off it.
Yeah, thick butter. My mum used to put butter on the bread like that.
Yeah,
Like slabs of butter. Yeah.
just have them melt on it with the chips.
Oh, yeah.
Red cabbage, beetroot, or none or both?
Beetroot.
Beetroot.
I
What's your?
love beetroot.
I think I saw a video of you doing this one, so I might know your answer on this. Best crisp from the offie.
At the moment, it changes. What's it?
I saw your video the
I
day
know
you had 4 packets in one night, was it?
6.
6.
6. 6 bags of what? It's because you get the pack from Tesco with
Yeah.
6 bags in. So I ate 6 bags. I'm
Ah,
all or nothing.
I can't do the dust on it, you know.
Really? See, that's the best bit.
No,
Because they like
I get.
to be fair, they do pick them up very kind of
Yeah, yeah.
strategically so it doesn't go all over me.
I might go back onto him at some point again 'cause mine does change, but it's the dust that always just annoys me.
Oh no, the dust.
Home bargains or B&M?
I don't know the difference.
Yeah, there's no real difference, but everyone seems to have a preference.
Um, Home and bargain. And I know it's home bargains, but in
It's
Liverpool we say home and bargain.
So it is actually Home and Bargains. That's what it was originally called, and it was based in Liverpool as Home and Bargains, and they changed it to Home Bargains, and that's why Liverpool still call it Home and Bargains. People in Liverpool. because the original shop
Okay,
in Liverpool was Home of Hand Bargains.
nice. I'm
Yeah.
loving that bit of info, okay.
I
Yeah,
do a lot
home
of
and bargain.
I do a lot of useless knowledge around the city of Liverpool and the
Love
culture
it.
of it. I love it. What do
Love
you
all
call
that.
trainers?
Trainees,
Trainees, that's the one.
what do you
Yeah.
call them?
I call them trainees or yeah, trainees or me trabs.
Yeah, we trabs, trainees. Unless I'm typing, I'll say trainers.
Yeah, yeah. But it's when you're
I'm
speaking,
speaking trainees.
yeah. It's very difficult 'cause when I'm doing these questions, I've got to say trainers to ask because it's they're not Lee, isn't it?
Oh, you're down. Say what do you call traps?
What do you call your trab, your web slat? All
You
that.
were.
Pick one, lads, lad, or kidder.
La.
I
I
think
think
lads
what's
a
it
proper
like?
80s one.
Yeah, and I think kids it is as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think depending on where you come from.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
la. Let's go with la, but I did say la. It's been a
La.
bit posh to me, yeah, la.
Say sounds how you would mean it the most.
She's sound.
Love it.
She's sound when you're describing a person who's okay. She's sound.
What's your best insult that's technically not an insult?
Don't know. Say that again.
Your best so where we use like insulting term
Oh,
people, but
divvy,
it doesn't mean something. So yeah, divvy or my wife says melt. That's her favourite one. You melt.
divvy. I say divvy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I say divvy when I'm on camera. When I'm off camera,
There's better
there's
ones.
there's harsher ones.
Finish this sentence. I'm not asked. Oh,
I'm not arsed, but he done me head in.
where's the best place or person to get proper scouse from?
My sister,
Oh, first one to say a proper person.
yeah. But our recipe is John Aldridge's recipe from LFC. There's like years ago there was a cooking with Aldo,
Mm.
and I'm sure it was him. Yeah, because if you type in John Aldridge Scouse, it comes up. I just leave out the beer. She leaves out the beer. You
Oh,
put
there's
beer
beer
in
in
it.
it as well.
Yeah. Sure. I hope you
An
haven't
80s
made mine
footballer,
up.
they have to be beer in it, to be fair.
Yeah, to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine has
So
black pudding in it,
what?
crumbled black pudding and curry.
Okay. What?
Yeah, yeah. Bit of curry powder for the spice, but if you put black pudding, makes the gravy thicker and just a bit more tasteful.
Well, my mate done a Scouse last year. I'm not going to name her. I'm not going to shame her. But I said to her, that's terrible. It was like water. And she went, no, it's better the next day. I said, that is not acceptable as
My
Scouse.
dad
It's
does
got to be.
watery scouse, is quite watery and
Because
yeah,
then there's no taste. I like the thicker,
mm,
but I'm going to try that with the black pudding because I
yeah,
love
just
black
crumple up a
pudding.
black pudding and just like scatter it in on the gravy and it just gives
Oh,
it that
yeah.
bit of tang when you get a little bite of it. Love it.
Stop it. I've started my diet today as well. I'm starving.
Told you, biscuits and bovril, that's what you need.
Not a chance. No.
Who's your favourite scouser? Famous, non-famous,
Um,
whoever you want.
famous Scouser.
Or non-famous, doesn't matter.
Famous Scouser. John Barnes.
John Barnes. Is he a scouser?
He's not, is he? He is. Come on, we've taken him in, haven't we?
Okay, one of my other questions was going to be a doctored scouser, so I'll give you that one then.
Okay, he's me adopted Scouser.
Yeah, that wasn't
Favourite.
the question I was going to have, but took it out in the end.
Okay. See how
But
I
yeah, no,
just
you can have John
went
Barnes then.
to John Barnes there. I wouldn't know who. I'm probably just not thinking. And then it's like when you finish the call, you go, oh, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, 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 blah. Uh, Stephen Graham might have been there, but it's the interview with the Sun
well,
thing.
he
So
interviews with the Sun.
yeah,
Did
there's a
he?
bit of controversy around it.
Ah, I didn't know he'd done
Um,
that.
he, he
I
did,
love
yeah.
Stephen
So,
Graham as well.
yeah, it was a while ago. It was years ago.
Mm. I think
Um,
I'd give him the benefits out and say you got some wrong advice off people there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
still not acceptable, Stephen. You need to do better, mate.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Favourite park in Liverpool?
Um, I'm really an indecisive person. So right now I'm looking at Calderstones. It's a gorgeous park,
It
but
is
I also
Coldstones,
want to
lovely.
say Sefton, Princess.
Yeah.
So basically I walk, I go on walks and I
Hmm.
tour parks. Reynolds Park is gorgeous as well, Calderstones. So yeah, I've just give you four. I can't
There you go.
possibly choose.
Favourite Scouse building?
Favourite Scouse building? Liverbirds.
Yeah, that's just Bertie and Bella.
Spectacular.
Have you seen the
Oh
statues in Albert Dock?
no.
They've got two Christmas decoration statues, one of Bertie and one of Bella in the Albert Dock, and they're
Ah,
gorgeous, like 10 foot.
I'll have to go and see. But
Yeah,
also, the mirrored building. There's
yeah,
still
yeah,
like big mirrored. It's kind of like the other side, isn't it?
yeah.
I was like, come on. But that I used to love that because whenever I'd go on a trip on a
Hmm.
coach, when I'd see that, I
Yeah,
knew I was home. We're
yeah.
home, and then you'd see the live buildings.
Here's one for you. Did you ever go to Grafton?
I didn't. I was
You
a little
never
bit
went to
young for
Grafton?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't the Grafton just a little bit old, wasn't it?
We were going there in the early noughties.
No,
I think
I
it
never
closed
I never
about
went.
2010 or something.
I thought it was older than
Oh, it's
than
been going since like the 40s or 50s, but it
no,
was,
but I thought I just missed out on that age bracket of people who went.
yeah, I think we started going one year and it just became our go-to place. It was just a Scouse staple for us.
Yeah,
And I just
exactly.
loved it. So many inappropriate memories of that place.
So is it's on the corner, is it the Olympia?
It's
Is it
next to the Olympia.
next to the
Yeah,
Olympia?
it closed
Yeah,
down
right.
years ago, unfortunately, but it
Yeah.
was, you'd pay a tenner on the door, they'd give you a glass, and you just go back and fill your glass up all the time.
No way.
And then they'd have like cheesy music on one floor and dance on the other, and we'd always be on the cheesy one.
Yeah, I never
Sticking to the
went for that.
floors with your feet and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I regret not going.
Favorite Beatles song?
Um, love me do.
Love Me
You
Too. Love it.
know. But that actually, I'm lying. I'm lying. So I'm not a massive Beatles fan. Don't come for me. I'm not a
Some people
massive
aren't.
Beatles. I appreciate them. I
Hmm.
appreciate them. But my favourite song, I just sang that then because I couldn't think of any. You just put me on the spot. There's this one song, and my best mate knows it really well. It's like it's 60s. It's quite soulful, but I've forgotten the name.
No worries. We'll go with Love Me Do then for now.
Go with Love Me Do.
Favorite Scouse musician or band that's not the Beatles then?
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Yeah. So they're a local boy band from
Okay.
Liverpool East. Um, Amazing singers, harmonies. They started off um in like a youth club
Hmm.
setting, but they went on to do massive things. So they toured with Justin Bieber. You'll have
Oh,
to look them up.
yeah,
Boys
will
to
do.
Men. Like they were huge. I think they're still going now. But yeah, give my Clary a shout out. They started in Positive Impact, which is a
Hmm.
was a kind of a youth club that people go to learn art, musicians,
Okay.
sing and dancing in Liverpool East.
I'll definitely have a look at them.
Yeah.
What floor
But
of the play is
can I have two?
Yeah, go on.
Anatomic Kitten.
Tom Kitten. Okay.
Now you're saying that as if you disagree or disapprove or you don't know who they are.
I know with the Tom Kitten. No, I didn't mind the Tom Kitten. Um, I was more when I was growing up in the 90s. No, I wasn't into Oasis as much. I was more into the Beatles and Elvis,
Right.
and
Okay.
old music and all that. And then boy bands, I kind of shunned boy bands a lot. I wasn't accepted as real music when I was growing up. I was very snobby about it. and the Tom and Kitten were probably. I liked the Tom and Kitten actually because they were from Liverpool more than anything.
Yeah,
And then
that's why I liked them.
I talked about it with a mate the other week. I was going to get my first album, my first paycheck, and I was going to go get Robbie Williams' album. And I've stopped getting it from my mate saying you can't get Robbie Williams' album. Like, and I went and bought Space instead, the Space Spiders album.
No way.
But I couldn't get Robbie Williams because he was from
Because he
Take
was
That
from a boy
and he was in
band.
a boy band, and I was quite snobby at the time. But I've grown to
I
appreciate.
wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't into boy bands. Well, I was into American boy bands, so like
Mhm.
Jodeci, I was into R&B and
Yeah,
soul. Um, didn't like Take That, Fad, none of that shite. But
see,
when
I
I got
actually liked
older,
Five growing up, though. To be fair, because they were a bit
when I got
edgy.
older, I kind of realised, oh,
Yeah.
okay, love Take That, greatest hits. And although I know Robbie, I'm not a fan of his music as such.
Mhm.
I hope I haven't offended him there. Um,
If Robbie
but
Williams
yeah,
is listening for you to be offended, I'm
oh,
making up. Sorry.
I'll send him it. I'll send him this podcast. And he's on in the Olympia, isn't he, in February? So I'm going to
Oh,
go.
is he? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, so boy bands, I
See,
like
mine
them
was
now.
my first concert I'm very proud of was Michael Jackson at Aintree.
How old
Yeah.
was you then?
Probably about 5 or 6 went with my dad.
Yeah.
He had me on my
Wow.
shoulders watching because I just loved Michael
Wow.
Jackson. See, I loved Stevie Wonder growing up.
Yeah, I love
Ebony
Stevie.
and Ivory, and Ebony and
Yeah.
Ivory and the Bad album was always played, and I just called "Say I Love You" were
Yeah.
my like
Yes.
go-tos. But
Yeah.
yeah,
What
but
an
at the
amazing
moment,
concert to go to. I always regret not going to that concert.
yeah, that's I was lucky, fortunate to get to that one.
Yeah.
But what floor of the Crazy House would have been yours?
What floors were there?
You had like a dance, pop, R&B one.
R&B.
Yeah,
R&B pop and pop had have gone between the two.
yeah, I think that's what we were. Radio City or Juice FM?
Radio City, easy. Easy peasy.
And favourite place for a night out, past or present?
I used to love the Buzz. Used to go to the Buzz on a Thursday.
The
Do you
Buzz?
remember the Buzz?
Vaguely.
Skellorn Street. So just kind of facing, what's the hotel?
That's not sure.
By Lewis's, the old Lewis's.
Oh, yeah.
What's the
Yeah, I think
hotel? The most famous Liverpool hotel.
the
And be able to
Marriott.
share it. Just Cooch will, yeah.
Oh,
No,
the Adelphi.
the Adelphi.
Yeah.
Yeah, just facing the Adelphi, the Buzz.
That
Yeah.
one of the best hotels in the country that's also being ruined by Britannia Hotels.
Yes, there you go.
We just go
Right
round
in the
ruining hotels and areas.
alley. And Kirkland's, although I was a little young when Kirkland's was at its peak. Can you tell how indecisive I am? You're asking for one and I'm giving you 10 of everything.
It's fine because what I found with these questions, people, when I'm speaking to people, they're like, "Oh my god, do you remember that? You heard about
Yeah,
that?" And they said
definitely.
that one, and it's really just it brings back memories for people, and
Does.
that's what I'm trying to invoke really, and just really get
Yeah.
people thinking about the city. So, what's the Scouse trait that you carry?
Kindness, but at the same time, hardness.
Hmm.
Being being hard, not taking any shit from anyone,
Yeah,
but being kind at the same time. The two can coexist together, definitely.
yeah,
I
definitely. I
like
mean,
to
you
help.
need to have that bit of stubbornness and backbone to
Yeah,
be
yeah. I
from the
like to
city.
help people. I'm a very opinionated. Yeah, kindness, not hardness.
So, where are you today? What's the seat you fill now? What do you bring and what do you do? And I know we talked a little bit about it, but
I like to think that I bring what I'm doing now with social media to bring a little bit
Mhm.
of comedy, authenticity, and just being a lefty. I had to put that in there, didn't I? Just sitting on the left, reminding the city where we've come from,
Mhm.
reminding them from when We were destroyed by the Tories, by Thatcher.
Do you know,
Um,
every Scouse person should be forced to sit down and watch Boys from the Black Stuff
yeah,
and just sit there and watch and see what it means and where
yeah,
this city was failed in the 80s and even
yeah,
before that. It's just, yeah. Do you
exactly
know,
that.
you said about a bit of comedy, and I need the best one that I just love when you do on your TikToks is the "Take him down," and
Take 'em down.
I
I
love
do me little,
and you walk and everything, but your walk's
yeah.
got like a proper rhythm to it, and
But you
it's
know why? Can I give you a little bit of context about that walk? Because not many people got onto it. My best mate was like the walk.
I
So I
think
went to
can I say
dance
what I
college.
think it was?
Go on.
Because there's a lot of old TV shows and films that I've watched, and it's about when the slave trade was going and people were put in the camps, and the film Life with Eddie Murphy, um,
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff, and it's that walk, isn't it? The old
that's it.
chain gang bail, chain gang.
Yes,
That's what it is,
that's
isn't it?
it. So when I was in dance college, they were called trudging walks, and you kind of
Mhm.
go through your foot with
Yeah.
a rhythm. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4 with your hands behind your back. And Miss Owen, who was the principal, she used to say, "Do you know where those walks came from?" And you'd be like, "No, Miss Owen," and she'd go, "The slaves,
Mhm.
trudging walks."
Yeah.
And that's the trudging walks, and I haven't done them since college. And it just come to me when I was giving Jerry Barton loads to do the trudging walks, and I love, love, love that you knew what they were.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I'm quite a I'm an old soul with films and TV shows and music, but I'm very much I have ADHD and a lot of other things, and my mind's very curious. So
Right.
even years ago, I would have been looking into that. So when they used the term cracker, I was very
Yeah.
interested in where that term comes from. So I
Nice.
went and researched a lot about slavery and doing stuff, and cracker comes from cracking the whip, and that's why white people was called crackers because they used to crack the whip at the slaves.
Wow.
And it's very interesting how the use of language for me. Part of the work that I do, there's certain words that if I hear staff members say it, they automatically get pulled in, and there's certain language and how we. So when I'm supporting adults, there's certain words that my staff are not able to use, so they don't. We don't let someone do something. You're not letting them do. You're here to help them,
Yeah.
support them, and it's about the language that we use and how we express ourselves. And yeah, it's. I'm very
I love
intrigued by
that.
words and finding out the meaning of it and
We could
phrases.
have a conversation on that for another hour. I'm obsessed with that. I love to learn just like that. I think language is extremely important. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
absolutely love it.
when I watched your Joey Barton video and you done the "Take him down" and you done the walk, I was in hysterics, not because of what it was about and whatever, but I was watching it and the knowledge of that walk and thinking, you're doing that walk and it's based on slavery to a guy who's getting done for sexism and racism,
Exactly
and
that.
you're making him do that walk to say,
Yeah.
there's that it's hidden
Oh,
interpretation to it, I thought.
yeah.
And that
Absolutely.
I just fell in love with that video, and I do
I
watch it
love
every now and
that
again, just
you
'cause I love it.
love it.
Yeah,
And your favourites, you've analysed that. I love it because
yeah,
it's not just things come to you. And I,
mm,
like you, I've recently been diagnosed with ADHD and autism.
yeah,
So a lot of things now make sense.
mhm,
And I'm like you say, very inquisitive and like to look into things. And I think that comes with having ADHD as well.
yeah, it definitely
With the
does, it's,
brain works.
but yeah, no, I do, that video, just all the little hidden meanings in it, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's, and yeah, he deserves to do that work because he's a horrible
he
human being.
does. He absolutely is.
I will happily hold my hands and say everything that I think about that person.
Same. And when I do videos about certain people, I think, okay, is this kind? Is this
Mhm,
I like to spark debate, I like to spark
yeah, yeah,
conversation. And there's times where I have to hold back what I really want to say about that particular individual.
mhm,
And every time I think about, do I really want to do this? The answer's yeah. He's horrible. He's a bully,
yeah,
and I hate bullies since school. People would come to me if they were getting bullied, and I'd have a word with the bullies. I hate bullies, and he's a bully, and I won't stand for that.
I mean, and I'm not going to go into a whole thing about Joey Barton because I've done a few videos on him myself actually to just try and bait him into speaking to me about it because I want him to pick up what I'm saying because I think he's disgusting and I'm ashamed that he's from the city. Um, but for someone who spent his football career being a thug, putting cigarettes out in youngsters' eyes, doing whatever else he'd done, and for your own family members to be involved in one of the biggest racial motivated killings, keep your mouth shut.
That's
Like,
what exactly what I think when
why would
we
you keep
talked
your head
about,
so low?
yeah, when he talked about the Windrush generation a few weeks ago and talked about he compared Charlie Kirk to Martin Luther King.
I haven't
Um,
watched that one yet because
I
it
think,
triggers me the first line. When I watch the
yeah,
first line, I turn it off.
I think, like you say, because of what his family have been involved in, I'm not saying
Mhm.
he had anything to do with that, but I would say I'm not gonna touch anything to do
Yeah,
with race
yeah,
because my family I'm not go but he doesn't care, he doesn't care who he harms, who he hates, and I'm sick of the divvies. Joey speaks the truth, Joey speaks the truth, and
no, it does.
that's where there's a real
Yeah, yeah.
disconnect within Scousers, particularly
Mhm.
Scouse men at the moment, listening to
Yeah.
people like that and Tate fella. But yeah, we've gone back there again, haven't we?
Well, it's relevant. It's all
It
relevant.
is completely
So,
relevant.
what do you think, if anything, Liverpool owes you, and what do you owe the city? What's the legacy you want to leave or take? Or
Say that again.
so, I mean, a lot of people don't really have an answer for this one, but what do you think Liverpool owes you, and what do you owe the city?
Owes me. I don't think it owes me anything. I don't think anyone owes me anything. I think I owe the city for who I am.
Mhm.
And in terms of my career and what I'm doing at the moment and what I'm transitioning into, I think I owe the city everything
So, what's
for
the
my
legacy you want to leave behind for the city? In the city?
um, legacy. Again, it just comes back to being people seeing me and being proud to be from the same city, to be open minded, to be caring,
Mhm.
and just to always get back up. We do that, don't we, in Liverpool? We
Yeah.
get back up. We get stomped on, we get back up. If that's a legacy, I don't know.
It is a legacy because it's what this city is all about. It's about being downtrodden by people down south, and so this Liverpool was the second city at one point,
Yeah.
and then the canals came in and the roads, and we were taking that away from us, and we were left and Thatcher doing her decline and all that stuff, and it's what this city is about. It's being pushed down bottom, but then crawling back up, fighting,
Yeah.
and standing up for what's right, and that's what I love about this city, and that's why the stuff that I'm doing now, that's what it's all about, and trying to push that agenda. It is an agenda. I've got an agenda. That is my agenda.
Yeah, of course.
And people read it. I have actually people who follow me and comment on a lot of stuff saying how much they love it, who in their profile say, I love reform. And I sit there
Wow.
and watch. Well, you're really confused because I'm literally sitting here saying reform are awful.
Yeah.
So what's
But
what?
I think with different personalities, it's really good. I think we seem to have completely different
Mm,
personalities online. I'm quite loud and obnoxious.
yeah.
Um, some people gravitate to that, but you're not loud and not obnoxious. And I think that's so important because people will listen to that. People say, oh, your voice and turn me off. With the likes of someone like yourself, I think there's definitely an audience for that, for people to come in and just listen and go, "Oh, okay. Oh, right. So he's nice and he's saying," and I think that's just as important. There's a
And
seat
I
for
mean, I
everyone.
think I am actually loud and obnoxious with my opinions and stuff. I'm
That's
building
how
my
you say
confidence
it.
doing videos. I just
Yeah,
have little confidence in what I'm doing it, but I try and
yeah,
because obviously these are words and language, and obviously my job and my role and
of course.
me private life. I want to keep it very uh, based on community and stuff and whatever, and that's what I'm trying to. And that it's a lot around inclusion and inclusion for people with disabilities and advocating all that as well. So when I feel like I'm speaking for other people who haven't got the voice, that's why I try and rein it in a little bit.
Right.
Otherwise, I would just be standing there on the corner going, Farage is a prick and Joey
Yeah.
Barton just needs to
Yeah.
be put down like a dog with rabies because that's what he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's
But
very
you
interesting.
don't.
I love your style, to be fair. I think I just sit there taking inspiration from when your videos come out and, just like watching them and just really
Oh,
inspired by what.
I only started TikTok because of I'm doing some TV presenting, so I thought I'll
Mhm.
try and grow a following
Yeah.
and start off just dancing. I love music. I dance every day. And then I spoke, and then it was those videos that got a lot of traction. So I was like,
Mhm.
oh, let me just do this more. But I only ever make them when I feel the need to. I'll
Yeah.
never force a video. It always has to be authentic for me.
Yeah. Mine's just to sell my book as well, to be fair, and try and get more money
Yeah.
on that. Just get a
Yeah.
bit of money for it.
Brilliant.
I've got
The
too many
seat.
kids nowadays.
What's it called?
There's a few. There's the seat left empty and the seat we once filled, and it's all fictional stories based in football grounds around the stadium. And the second one focuses a lot on the last 60 years of Liverpool as well, with Goodison Park as the backdrop, watching how the city has been downtrodden, and it touches on that certain racist killing, but not mentioning people's names and how influencers want to make their name from it, and it's really kind of a FU to a lot of people.
Oh, brilliant.
It's
Are they
yeah.
available in audio form, Adam, or not?
Yeah, I've got the first one's on audiobook, Charlotte Northover, who does a lot of TikTok videos. She's done that for me. Um, yeah, we've done
Okay.
that one, and I'm gonna probably do the other one next year, but just gotta
I'll have a
find.
listen to that then, because I struggle to physically read.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people.
Um, and I've found audiobooks in the last 2 years. I've listened to about 100 on my
Listen,
walks. I'm obsessed with listening. So that's on my list, definitely.
fair enough. Thank you. Final question. What is your favourite Liverpool phrase or word?
Boss.
Boss.
Boss. And I know boss has different connotations all
Yeah,
over the world, different meanings, but in Liverpool, it's boss that.
yeah, it just
Boss.
means it's great, it's amazing, it's the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
That's all it
And
should mean.
I probably use that phrase a lot.
It's really funny when you work in
Boss
different areas outside
way.
Liverpool. You've got like a manager, and you say, "Oh, they're a boss then," and just watching people struggle with that kind of that
Yeah,
little
boss
saying.
that. Yeah.
So that's it. Thanks for joining us, Stephanie. Is there anything you want to talk about or push? I mean, your choir.
No,
I think your choir is just amazing. I've seen the videos and love listening to them.
I love me choir. They're me family. They're me heart. Um, yeah, that grew from authenticity and just love, and you've got to be in a room with us to hear them sing.
Mhm.
It's special, it's special, and we always get comments on it. Watch us on expected on TV, but to hear us in person,
Yeah, yeah.
it's pure heart and love. Yeah, they're me world. I love them. But no, that's it. Don't want to push anything. Just it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and just that chilled vibe. What I love, and
That's what it's trying to be. Just as I say, trying to
yeah.
get real stories and real things about the city and just put it out there of how great we are.
Yeah. I did think about, what questions would be asked and what
Mhm.
avenues I want to go down, but that's not me. I'm just on the spot type of person, and I knew certain subjects from
Yeah, yeah.
myself would come up, but yeah, and that's why I loved it. Really enjoyed it.
Brilliant. I've loved it. And apologies for all the technical difficulties. I'll
Not a
um,
problem.
I'll sort all that out. It's went on too longer than we thought. It wasn't really to apologise, but
Don't worry.
uh,
I've
so
enjoyed it thoroughly.
so that's if this the episodes of See We Phil. If there's something that you heard stays with you, that's the point we tried to make. But thanks everyone for your time. It really matters, and hopefully catch people on the next one. Thanks. Bye.